Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Dong Report. I am Matt Modi with Jedi Modi Sports Network, and I have four of my favorite home run picks for you guys today. And if you can tell that I'm a little bit giddy today, it's because finally we broke out of our slump. So yesterday I gave out three picks on this YouTube channel, three home run picks. We got two of those three to cash. Thank you to Bryce Harper. Thank you to Max Muncy. Finally broke out of the absurd cold streak we were in. We end the day yesterday up 6.3 units. That brings our total profit on the Dong Report year to date up to 39.45 units with an ROI of 7.71%. Very happy to finally break out of the slump. That's what happens when you are predicting home runs. As for today, I actually got four home run picks for you guys. Normally, I only go with three, but today there was four that I really liked. So instead of going with an honorable mention, I just decided to add a fourth. Before we get into it real quick, if you are not already, would appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. All that stuff helps me out a ton as I attempt to grow this. And let's chat dongs. So play number one in the Phillies versus Angels game. We are taking Shohei Otani to hit a home run. This is at plus 240 odds at FanDuel. So Otani, he has been in somewhat of a slump in the home run department. It's not as though he's completely just not hit any. He's got two in his last 10 games, but for a guy with 44 on the year, yeah, it's a little bit of a cold streak. But I do like for that to change tonight, and there's a couple reasons why. Number one, this is the best weather game of the day on the entire slate. It's an incredible weather day when you look at the temperature, when you look at the wind, and you look at the ballpark. If Otani just gets a hold of one a little bit, that ball is going to carry at an abnormal rate due to what the weather is like in Philly. Secondly, he's got a pretty good advantage over the pitcher that the Phillies are throwing out there. Michael Lorenzen is pitching for the Phillies. He's had an amazing first two starts in Philly, but his last two haven't been that good. Ballpark Pal lists this as an extreme advantage in favor of Otani, which isn't surprising because Otani is significantly better against right-handed pitching than he is against lefties. Now, he's good against everything. Let me be clear. This is not me saying that he's bad against left-handed pitching, but he's significantly better against righties. The way I like to look at this is in terms of raw power. The metric I use for that is ISO rate. So if you're new here, ISO rate literally stands for isolated power. It measures exactly what it sounds like, how much power a batter has. Anything that is 25% and above is considered excellent. So Shohei Otani against left-handed pitching is at 30.5%. That's excellent. That's still obviously a great number to have. Well, against right-handed pitching, that number jumps up all the way up to 37.8%. This is on the entire season, so pretty big sample size. And even if you include the last 2 weeks, which includes his cold streak, and you isolate his ISO rate just for these past 2 weeks, it's at 36.6%, which is on par with his season-long numbers. So he's been hitting the ball well. He hasn't had good luck getting them to go yard. That is going to change tonight. I think he's going to mash one for us. Cashing our first play. Next up in the Braves versus Rockies game, we are taking Matt Olson to hit a home run plus 215 odds at FanDuel. Now, talk about a guy who is in a slump. Let's chat about Matt Olson, because if you think Otani's in a slump, well, Matt Olson is in another category. Matt Olson had an absurd stretch at the beginning of August. Crazy. He hit 7 home runs from August 1st to August 13th. Unfortunately, August 13th is also the last day that he hit a home run. He's gone a full 2 straight weeks without hitting a home run. For someone like Matt Olson, who has 42 on the year, who was on an absurd streak, it's kind of crazy that he's gone homerless in so many straight games. But that's going to change today. Number one, this game is at Coors Field. We all know that Coors Field is one of the best stadiums to be in for home runs to be hit. And today is no different. Not every single day is great at Coors. Today is. It's hot in Colorado. That ball is going to carry. The Rockies are also pitching Lambert on the mound, who stinks, and the Braves should have a ton of success against him. Obviously, that includes Matt Olson. And if you look at his ISO rate in the month of August, now obviously that includes his hot streak for the first 2 weeks. That also includes his cold streak for the last 2 weeks. His ISO rate in the month of August is at 30.1%. Now, if you just looked at it from August 1st to August 13th, it was at like 60%. So you kind of understand just how far he's fallen, but it's still a very good number. And if you just look at the last 7 days alone, the past week, That ISO rate number is at 21.7, which, yeah, it's a far cry from his entire season long numbers, but that's still in the great category, which is good. He hasn't been hitting the ball terribly. If you just look at his batting average, he's been getting hits. He hasn't, pulling the Kyle Schwarber batting 170 at the plate. Again, he just hasn't gotten any to go yard. That is going to change tonight. Cashing our second pick. Next up, our third pick of the day in the Diamondbacks versus Dodgers game. We are taking Mookie Betts to hit a home run plus 330 odds at DraftKings. So the first two guys on the Dong Report were cold in the home run department. That is not the case with Mookie Betts. Now, he hasn't been on a crazy streak, but he's been hot recently. He's got 8 total home runs in the month of August, 4 of which have come in the past 10 games. So he is showing a lot of recent success. Unsurprisingly, if you look at his power numbers, they're very good. In the month of August, it's up at 33.7%. That's like, I think, 11th in the MLB in the month of August. Obviously, that's incredible. I will admit it's a little bit scary with the Diamondbacks pitching Merrill Kelly on the mound. He's a good pitcher, but literally yesterday, I chose Max Muncy on the Dodgers going up against Zach Gallen. Yes, that was scary, but the Dodgers roughed him up. Max Muncy came through for us. I'm confident that Mookie Betts will be able to do the same. Ballpark Pal also lists this as an extreme advantage in favor of Mookie Betts just based on what type of pitches Kelly throws, what Mookie Betts is good at hitting, all that good stuff takes into account that. Mookie just hit one 2 days ago against the Red Sox, did not go yard last night. Confident that's going to change tonight. Cashing our third pick and our fourth and final pick of the evening in the Rangers versus Mets game. We are taking Adolis Garcia to hit a home run. That is at plus 430 odds at FanDuel. So he's our last pick of the evening. He's another player who's been having a really good month. He's got 7 home runs in the month of August, and he's got 2 in his last 10 games. I will admit I was very close to choosing Corey Seager again today. That would have been our third straight day picking him. The reason why I ended up going with Garcia, because I looked a little bit more into the pitching matchup, and the Mets are throwing out Jose Quintana on the mound, who's not a bad pitcher by any means, but he's a lefty, and that's kind of where Garcia has the advantage. He is significantly better against lefties than he is against righties. Against left-handed pitching, Garcia's ISO rate is 26.3%. This is on the entire year. Obviously, that's considered excellent. That's great. That's good for us. If you look at the month of August alone, he's been mashing left-handed pitching. His ISO rate in the month of August against left-handed pitching is 59.1%. That's cartoonish. That's silly how high that number is. And when you dig a little bit deeper, it makes sense. So 4 of his 7 home runs in the month of August have come against left-handed pitching. That's in only 29 plate appearances. Against righties, he's got 74 plate appearances, and he's only hit 3 home runs. So obviously, much better chance that he goes yard against the lefty, which is what he'll be facing tonight. Confident that he is going to cash our fourth and final play for us. 4 picks for you guys to lock in. I put 1 unit on each of them individually. I put $5 on the parlay. If we get one of Mookie and Adolis Garcia to hit a home run, we are guaranteed to be profitable. If we get any combination of 2, we are guaranteed to be profitable, but we are obviously rooting for all 4. So if you are riding with me, if you are tailing, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thanks for watching, and have a good one.